everybody, and thanks for once again joining us on Politics for the Average Joe. I'm your host, Chris Turner. Once again, you are in the no-turn zone. No K-turns, no right, no left, no U-turns. We're coming straight at you once again. And we're coming off debate number 3 of the presidents, or the presidential debate, I guess I should say, between the two candidates running for president. And this one was clear-cut. This one was not even a competition. And not only do I have that, like my own opinion to back that up, you look at the polls and it's a 70-30 split between who the people thought won the debate. Everyone said Obama. And you know what? This really wasn't Romney's debate to win. It was on foreign policy, something that, as a governor in Massachusetts, you really don't deal much with. And if you've been the president of the United States for 4 years, you deal a lot with. So, this was Obama's debate to lose, which I probably should have mentioned in the last video, but that's besides the point. Basically, in this debate, you had a guy that was speaking from experience, the killing of Osama bin Laden, the dismantling of Al-Qaeda, and, 2 wars that he ended, and just all this other, stuff that he really has to hang his hat on. And then you have a guy who ran Massachusetts, who, created jobs. But, when the debate's not about economics and it's not about, who governed where or who did what, it's hard to really get an advantage. So this debate was more clear-cut than the first two, or I guess the last one, I guess I should say, which was a split. So this was probably, knockout blow Obama needed. Basically, I thought the most interesting part of this debate was the fact that you had both candidates trying to stir the debate away from foreign policy just to try and get their last little pitches into the American people. Romney, of course, went back to his $5 trillion economic plan that, if you really listen to it, doesn't sound like much of an economic plan, more like an economic beatdown on the economy. But therein lies the problem with the past 3 debates, is the candidates are not focusing on the questions that are trying to be answered and asked of them. They're focusing on their own little campaign slogans and what benefits them, and not focusing on what benefits the country. Sure, they give their little, snippets and their factoids and all these little notes, but when it comes down to it, we're not getting straightforward answers. And that's up for debate, if you will. Who loses in that category, who wins in that category. But when it comes down to it, this debate was all about Obama showing his experience and Romney showing his inexperience. And whether that's a knockout blow or whether that's, just the way the world goes, you just see from this debate that Obama, going out of the debates, has the upper hand. But therein lies the problem, is we're not getting straight answers, and we're not getting, straightforward information. The debate mostly went around these candidates trying to stir it back into their strong points. Romney knows he doesn't have foreign policy experience. He also knows that he doesn't know a lot about foreign policy. So he kept trying to go back what he knows best, numbers and business, which, when you look at it, foreign policy is now a lot lower on the list than it was 4 years ago as far as importance with Americans. More Americans are worried about their economy and their jobs. So while I don't fault Mitt Romney for going back to jobs, I do fault him for the fact that he should have stayed on topic, and that's ultimately what lost in the debate. So you could score this one in the win column for Obama, and you could score it as, basically one more knockout punch to the Romney campaign, which right now, according to the polls, is trailing by 2 points. That's according to the Gallup polls. And, but now, I talked about in the first episode, I talked about how we were going to have interviews. I talked about how we were going to talk to average Joes, and how we were going to discuss, manners that, people like you care about. So now I'm going to bring in somebody who is an uninformed voter and, knows who he's going to vote for, but doesn't know a lot about the election. So now I'd like to bring in, his name's David, to talk about the election. David?
Yeah,
How are you?
good, man. How are you?
No, welcome to the No Turn Zone, my friend. This is big. Your first interview on the actual show. I have interviews posted on our site, on the blog, and everything.
I'm glad to be
But you're our first real interview. So I got a question for you. I'm just gonna shoot questions at you. Just fire away.
Absolutely.
Whether you want to look in the camera or not, it's up to you. You can look at me. I am enjoyable to look at. But whatever. Okay. So first question.
What's up?
What's the most important issue to you in this upcoming election?
Well, I wish I had a straight answer for it.
That's okay.
I really
Dave.
don't,
Here's the thing: is I want you to be as honest as possible. So you have no particular issue in your
I have no particular issue.
You're just,
you. I live
so
life.
let's live life. I know. So the economy, foreign policy, whatever.
It's all.
It's understandable.
foreign language.
That's the beauty is most voters like you aren't informed, and that's why we have the website, which I hope you're visiting.
Every day.
Okay.
Every time I get.
So let me just cut straight to the point. Who you should be voting for, if you don't mind telling the people.
Obama.
Okay.
My vote is going for Obama.
Okay. Did you vote for him in 2008?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
That's good. That's good. That's the thing is, one of the questions about this election is how many voters that Obama had vote for him in 2008 can he hold on to for 2012? And I see that you're one that is going to stick with him.
Absolutely. Why
And
not?
I think that's I think that's great. But you realize that for your particular group, that Obama's always been strong in the younger voters. He's always been, the favorite among them.
Yep.
So my next question leads to: is it other people influencing you to vote, or is it just your opinion alone?
It's just my own personal preference.
If you don't mind, sorry to interrupt you.
Absolutely, no problem.
But why Obama? Why do you want to vote for him?
Well, I didn't see anything wrong what he did. I wasn't affected by anything since 2008 till now. Why change?
That's a great point.
He's trying to help us. I'd rather see him with the yellow hard hat on, rebuilding this country.
I like that. That's the thing. Even if you don't care about any particular issue, you give me a straightforward answer. And David, that's all I can ask for. Thanks for coming on Politics with the Average Joe with me, your host, Chris Turner. And thank you for joining the No Turn Zone. You didn't make a K-turn, you didn't make a U-turn, you didn't even make a left or right turn. So that was a beautiful thing. So thanks for joining us once again. Be sure to keep up. As the election approaches, we'll only get more hard-hitting, and I'll give you more opinions from the Average Joe. Thanks again, Dave.
No problem.